Golden rule parody. Some mockingly say, whoever has the gold makes the rules. Today's version of the iron rule. Whereas in ancient times physical force or blatant barbarism ruled, in technologically advanced societies, the wealthy, who often acquire financial strength through manipulation and subterfuge, temporarily rule. Actually, whoever has the gold does make the rules. God has all the gold and temporarily loans it to various people. Those whom he loans it to, who thus declare that they themselves rule, by parodying the golden rule, will be eventually destroyed. Follow the yellow brick road. We may be ethical on the micro scale, being loving towards immediate family members, feeding a hungry acquaintance, or using jumper cables on a fellow employee's car that doesn't start. However, we may be unethical on the macro scale by opposing socialized healthcare, supporting foreign wars, and upholding other policies that result in various injustices. In other words, those who acknowledge the golden rule are in varying gradations on this pathway. Some act nice to gain people's favor and avoid harming others in order to avoid retaliation. Many people stop right there. Others possess a spiritual concept of impending judgment, or at least what goes around comes around. Some sense of justice and moral uprightness usually accompanies this thinking. Thankfully, quite a few people embrace these ideas. However, there's much to be desired. Then there are those who, in addition to understanding the justice concept of an all-seeing eye or karma, often act out of love instead of the need for so-called fire insurance. These sympathetic people are exhibiting behavior that is universally considered Christian. However, loving those like yourself is relatively easy. For many with special needs, treating them how you would prefer being treated, yet purblind to their situation, could be woefully insufficient or inappropriate. What's good for one person can actually harm another. And treating someone how they want to be treated must never be aimed at fulfilling their immediate gratification only. It must always be applied only to their ultimate long-term benefit. Again, if applying the golden rule, society's overall good must always take precedence over individual wants and needs. Finally, there is the extremely rare individual who has a wellspring of empathy for everyone around, maybe 1 in a million or less. As mentioned before, an exemplary example of following the golden rule would be allowing someone who hits your car in traffic to go without paying for it. And instead of paying for minor damage yourself, you can drive a beat-up car and donate that extra money to charitable causes instead of worshiping something that pollutes our environment. Besides, the Lord Jesus Christ was plenty beat up on the cross. He expended his entire life for others. Moreover, righteousness should be a lifetime growth process. Besides, we cannot be Christian and yet hold on to the world's values. We must choose. By following Christ and applying agape, we can effect change and restructure society to where people are rewarded for being equitable. Ultimately, as Jesus stated, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:48. That is, we should strive for perfection. There's a saying, chase perfection and you shall catch excellence. Take care.